はい、ミリです。シャーロック・ホームズチャプター1続きからです。いまいちよくわからないんだけど、これ、唯一の入り口は警備されているので、正面突破するか、僕らを通すよ。警備人を説得するほかないだろう。説得しますか。で、これは八重地への侵入。ここの会社に侵入しろってやってたよね。この格好でいいのかな。ちょっと一回行ってみるか。どういう格好がいいのかな。音出てるっけ？出てるね。部下。これでいいか。部下でーす。入れてください。あれ？
Hey, stop. Who are you? Haven't seen you before.
Didn't see you either, mate. I'm John. Just shipped in from London. Cheap bastards had me sharing a bunk with two others.
Aye, that sounds like Bernadotte. Why are you here?
A problem at the refugee camp. I need to report to Mr. Bernadotte. The sooner the better.
I knew it was only a matter of time until those savages stirred up trouble. Go on, get inside.
入れた。勝利した。よいしょ。で、ここで、なんかまた戦闘ありそうだよね、ここ。よいしょ。で、ギャングへの変装は成功し、ベルナドッティの倉庫に入ることができた。よし。で、これ、なんだったっけ？だよね、ロケーションを探すだからいいんだよね。で、これ重要人物と会話するってやつだよね。ピン外して、マスノートンの履歴。どうすればいいんだろう。ないもんな。まあいいか。
You did it,
びっ
Sherry.
くりした。
A full immersion into the criminal underworld.
よいしょ。なんか探れるようなとこないの？鳥風難民。これ絶対戦闘しろってやつだよね。
The Silverhand treasure, mate. Loads of pirate gold buried somewhere around, just waiting to be found.
It's all rot, there's no treasure.
But maybe there is. I just need to crack the bloody riddle.
謎かけ？何？イギリス人の殺し屋、放課後性がある。嫌な癖だね。パグ犬を飼っている。パグかわいいよね。どうすればいいんだろう。 こで何をすればいいんだ？
That was one hell of a risk, but a lot of fun.
シェアロック、ヘッリ。
あ、キャロル、ナイスミッチュー。
ハロー。
ハロー。Thank you for watching. どうすればいいんだろう。聞けないしな、会話できないしな。この人も会話できない。この人はできる？会話できないもんな。この人は？これ外出ちゃうんじゃないの？だよね、出ちゃうよね。どうすればいいんだろう。これ固定さしとく？マスノートン。
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Sorry, we don't see much here.
Do you know anything about this?
Sorry, we don't see much here.
You obviously haven't thought this all through. Or are you just annoying these people on purpose?
違うのか。
Is this familiar to you?
Sorry, we don't see much here.
Excuse me, just one question.
Sorry, we don't see much here.
Oh, I am bored. Call me when you find the answer.
そんな言い方しなくてもいいじゃん、ジョン。この人に聞いたら、なんか、怒られそうじゃない？
Is this familiar to you?
Nah, never come across anything like this.
見たことも聞いたこともないって言われたな。
May I ask you something?
Nah, fella, I got no idea about this.
Oh, I am bored. Call me when you find the answer.
だってあとタグ付けできるのないよ。まだ他にやることある？マツノートンさんどこにいる？
Excuse me, just one question.
Nah, fella, I got no idea about this.
ですよね。調べれるのないもんな。
Do you know anything about this?
Nah, never come across anything like this.
Time to check your who, what, and what, Sherry. Who are you asking? About what and dressed as what?
この服装じゃダメなの
Excuse me, just one question.
Sorry, we don't see much here.
Can I ask you a question?
Nah, never come across anything like this.
Oh, I am bored. Call me when you find the answer.
わかんないな。 こだっけ？出るか。
Don't fuss, mate. You can come in.
いや、中に入ったけどさ。あと何したらいいの？あとどっか行けれるとこあんの？倉庫の中に入ったのはいいけど。
May I ask for your assistance?
Sorry, we don't see much here.
一周してきちゃったよな。
Is this familiar to you?
Nah, fella. I got no idea about this.
Everyone's looking at us, Sherry. You sure you know what you're doing? Sherry, look!
おお、入れた。
This seems familiar.
Let's see what's hidden there. Vogel's stolen painting. Isn't it curious how it developed into a much more interesting case?
もうこんなとこにあったんだ。盗まれた絵画。よいしょ。これいけるの？いけないよね。関係ないよね。
A Dogon statue from West Africa. A century old at least.
世紀前。
Masks, traditional for the Chokwe people of Central Africa. VH Grindley Flow Blue Tableware. This is what lies behind the facade of Bernadotte Company Limited.
密輸された工芸品。多数の古代の芸術品がベルナドッティ社の倉庫に保管されている。その工芸品のほとんどがアフリカの原産だ。アフリカの流文化の彫刻が描いた人間は簡素化され、ともあれば幾何学的だ。直位文化が誇る美しい乱剣の仮面は女性的な美や死を表現しているのかもしれない。間違えた。あとはこれか。
An amazing piece of culture. I imagine many collectors and museums would be interested in having it.
This marble fella. It's like he was made after my image. You see it?
何やってんだよ、じゃん。あとは はない。
Hello, friend. Tough day, eh?
一面記事。この人と会話した方がいいのかな。元鉱山夫。
If the damn idiot hadn't stolen the canary, I'd be bathing in silver down in the mines. Instead of this.
びっくりした。殺し屋、天下持ち。だがうまい。へえ。ジョン何やってんの？おう、女優。なんかある？
Excuse me, Mr. Bernadotte is busy right now.
大量の書類、運送上、合法。高価な紙、市役所の紋章、舞台会の招待状。
Sir, you're obstructing the light. Could you step back? Sir, you're obstructing the light. Could you step back?
入れない。
I suppose it's Mr. Bernadotte with our fine governor. (1875) was taken a few years back. John, how many people in Cordona have a photograph with the governor, do you think?
You definitely don't have one.
うん、確かに。
The Bernadotte Company Limited trade network reaches the most distant colonies of the great empire.
It must be very convenient for a man like Bernadotte.
May I ask for your assistance?
Not my problem.
ですよね。
Could you help me?
I don't talk to ruffians. Sorry.
Oh, I am bored. Call me when
ジ
you
ョンは
find the
何やっ
answer.
てんの？あら、入れない。
I don't know who you are, but someone will be punished for letting you in. But first, let's talk.
この人は誰？イタリア人実業家。
Whenever you're ready. I'd hate to intrude.
観察する。他の入れ墨と異なる。汚れ仕事もいとわない。ペラグラを患っていた。ペラグラって病気があるんだ。冷酷。で、結婚指輪、既婚。
こんにちは。挨拶だけですが。
はい、おにぎりさんいらっしゃい。ありがとう。ゆっくり、できるときにゆっくり来てください。計算高い実業家。 冷酷な犯罪を。自分の権力を示すためにその手を汚すことも厭わない。若い頃の重労働でベルナード・ティは自分が生きる世界を憎むようになった。彼は常に厄介事を引き起こし、これからも脅威であり続けるだろう。貧しい家庭で育ったため、若い頃から現場で働かざるを得なかった。そのため、ペラグラに苦しむことになり、皮膚には、症状の跡が見られる。症状の跡や、今の自分を形作った過去を高価な服で隠すつもりはないようだ。ベルナドッティと彼の部下たちには同じ異なった入れ墨がある。同じ形式か。入れ墨は厳重に構成された秘密犯罪組織での異なる地位を表す暗号と見て間違いないだろう。こっちだと炎天下での重労働と栄養失調によりペラグラの症状に苦しむことだった。どっちだろう。計算高いか、冷酷か。結婚してるんだよな。計算高いでいいか。
Niccolo Bernadotti, I presume? The name is Sherlock Holmes, and I'm afraid I bring bad tidings.
Is that so?
The man you sent to the refugee camp failed in his task. He impaled himself on his own blade. Clumsy and chaotic end.
For a man who just broke onto my property, you are more businessman than brute. You have my attention, Mr. Holmes. Do not waste it.
As I said, your man was found dead in the refugee camp. He was there to kidnap a woman, but the other refugees intervened to try and save her. The ensuing scuffle resulted in the man's accidental suicide. He sported the same tattoo as your men in this building. In fact, it also bears a resemblance to the one on your neck. Care to explain what business your man had with this woman?
You have no idea what you are talking about. I can assure you this was no kidnapping. The refugees in the camp are on edge. What happened there is a tragic accident, one I am not responsible for.
For what reason was your man there if not to abduct her?
Why would I answer? You are yet to justify your presence in the slightest.
Mr. Bernadotti, do you know the name Boniface Mercurio?
I do not.
Mercurio was a local artist. Recently, a man broke into his apartment, ransacked the place, and killed him. The thief was looking for something.
You are testing my patience, boy.
In a moment, the connection will reveal itself. I was hired, privately, to investigate the recent theft of a painting from an art gallery. My investigation led me to a man from your organization, and thus, to you, Mr. Bernadotti.
That is quite a stretch. Why would I need to steal a painting when I could buy anyone I wanted?
Interestingly enough, I spotted the stolen painting in your storeroom.
I buy and sell a lot of things, Mr. Holmes.
ばあばさんいらっしゃい。
Unfortunately, if this is true, it is not the first time I have been sold stolen merchandise. I presume you were hired by the owner of the gallery. Tell them to contact me, and we'll sort out the situation. So, this painting is why you broke into my office. So many words, so little action. When you barged into my office, Mr. Holmes, I got the impression you wanted to talk business. Now I see you had come just to talk. Tell me exactly what you want, or get out.
It was necessary groundwork for what comes next. I have enough evidence to conclude that the gallery thief, the artist's killer, and the dead man in the camp are all the same person.
Your time is almost up, Mr. Holmes.
Before you draw your gun, there is one final detail I need to mention. The young woman your man was tasked to collect from the refugee camp had been defiled at a perverse masquerade party. That violation was captured in a photograph by Boniface Mercurio and used as a reference for his painting. The photo shows the attacker's face.
Finally. That's why you're here, Mr. Holmes. You have the photograph.
It is what your man was after when he broke into Mercurio's apartment, and it is what you're after too, isn't it, Mr. Bernadotte?
You have the photograph with you. How much do you want for it?
I am not naive enough to carry it with me, but I am yet to decide what I shall do with it. I know the man in the photo is a British envoy. What interest do you have in his downfall?
I must admit, I'm rather impressed by how comprehensively you have pursued this matter. And so, you deserve the honest answer. My business dealings are often arduous in their bureaucracy. A man in his position, willing to look the other way, could ease my work significantly. In return, I will make sure no one looks his way either. A favor for a favor.
Also known as blackmail, the modus operandi of any true professional.
It was not originally my idea. Mercurio set things in motion, extorting the envoy for the most trivial of ends. Money. In response, the envoy hired my man to retrieve the painting and the photograph, eliminating Mercurio's leverage. I only learned the whole story after the artist was killed in his home.
And rather than extricate yourself, instead you took over Mercurio's venture.
It fell into my lap. As a businessman, I simply seized the opportunity. Now, how much do you want for the image?
おー、何これ。なぜ少女が必要だった？
Why did you send your man to remove the woman from the camp?
Without a photograph, her testimony was the next best thing. Securing her was in everyone's interest. Victims and witnesses all too often disappear. I thought the girl was safer with us. I did not anticipate what would happen at the camp.
密輸された工芸品。
I could not help but appreciate the collection of smuggled artifacts in your storeroom. You have rather diversified your business.
Oh, high and mighty of you, Mr. Holmes. Not all smuggling is immoral. I pay generous rates to developing cultures and spread their culture to eager buyers. And furthermore, I supply many immigrants with a taste of home.
A very convenient way of thinking.
I have traveled wildly, Mr. Holmes. I've seen people in far-flung lands for whom my services are a lifeline. Without them, they would starve. The tax on cargo is often so absurd that it would be more profitable to simply sink your ship than dock it in the harbor. And trust me, I am speaking from experience.
倉庫にいる難民たち。
I saw refugees from the camp at your warehouse. They work for you.
I have made certain arrangements with City Hall and the police. Thanks to me, refugees can work and be paid. It's a pathway to freedom.
And how much do you save by capitalizing on their cheap labor?
I have heard no complaints. They seem happy just to get out of that slum.
写真を渡すと言ったら？
Why should I give you the photograph?
Just name your price.
What if my price were not money? You claim to have connections, Mr. Bernadotte. Perhaps you could improve conditions for the refugees. Give them a chance for a better life.
Ha! I do have connections, Mr. Holmes, but help the whole camp? You are asking too much. I could, however, make arrangements for one person. The woman who was violated will have her own home outside the camp, solely for her and her child. She will no longer be a refugee, but a princess. That I can guarantee.
Is that really possible?
It will be neither fast nor easy, but I can do it. She deserves it, don't you agree? And as for her abuser, he will serve me as much as he deserves.
So in your plan, everybody will be given their due. Especially you, Mr. Bernadotte.
Seems like a fair deal, no? I doubt anyone could offer you better. Simply give me the photograph, and the world becomes a better place. I give you my word.
What makes you think you can decide what's best for these people?
Such is the arrogance of British imperialism. I take your point.
ああ、なるほどね。はあ。ベルナドッティの申し出。彼の部下に命じて自分の暴行を描写した絵と写真をマーキュリオから手に入れようとしたのはイギリス大使だったと主張している。で、申し出は写真を渡せば彼がイギリス公使を脅迫するというものだ。その代わりベルナドッティは乱暴された女性とその子供に家と市民権を与えるという。ベルナドッティ。トマス・ノートンは市役所におるのかい？この被害者、ネイラは乱暴され、もう少しで誘拐されるところだった。何よりも、まず彼女と赤ん坊の安全を確保しなければ。ネイラは写真に写っていた。脅迫素材、ベルナード・ティは講師の犯罪に関する証拠を集め彼を脅迫しようとしている。ベルナード・ティは講師を脅迫しようとしている。ベルナード・ティは状況を操って利益を得る方法を知っている。講師による強姦事件を知った彼はその機会を使用して権力を手に入れようと画策した。彼が僕に出した条件はネイラの将来と引き換えに写真を渡すことだった。講師は卑劣な人間でベルナドッティはこの忌まわしい状況を利用しようとしている。どちらも信用できない。問題を解決するためには真実を公表するしかないだろう。ボーゲルに写真を渡し全てを公表してもらおう。それか予想外の協力関係。ベルナドッティは汚い実業家ではあるが彼の提案には納得がいく。真に重要なのはレイラとその子供の生活を保障することだ。ベルナドッティに講師を脅迫するための証拠を渡そう。どっち？すべて公表したのがいいのかな。いやでもね、ベルナドッティのこともわからんでもないんだよな。どうしよう。でもネイラと子供だけだもんな、保証されるの。どうなんだろう。この証拠が出るのね。どうしよう。ちょっとここで一回保存をしてだね。で、ちょっと協力関係をやってみるか。ベルナドッティは汚い実業家ではあるが彼の提案には納得いく。あれ？ んだけえ証拠を渡そう。写真を渡す。
If I give you the photograph, how do I know you will not come after me?
Mr. Holmes, you are not a threat. The local authorities owe me favors. For all your confidence, you cannot actually harm me. Besides, I like you and your approach to business. We are not dissimilar. Pragmatists to a fault.
Indeed, I cannot ignore the just outcomes in what you have proposed. All right, take the photograph.
You are a hard man to read, Mr. Holmes. I couldn't tell if you actually had it. Fear not. This decision will bear its fruits soon enough. One more thing, Mr. Holmes. Now that I have the photo, you may as well take Mr. Mercurio's painting back to the gallery. Please, send my apologies.
ベルナドッティは僕に絵画を渡した。事件を解決した後、絵画をボーゲルに届けてやろう。これ、トマス・ノートンがわからないんだけど、なんで？あ、もうボーゲルのとこじゃん。
Mr. Holmes, you've returned. Have you uncovered anything new about the theft?
I've brought news, but not all of it will please you.
Fill me in, Mr. Holmes. I won't shoot the messenger.
Ah, どっちがいいんだろう。マーキュリーは死んだ。
I tracked down Boniface Mercurio.
I presume he wasn't delighted about the situation.
He was not having a good day on account of his murder. Killed in his own flat by the same person that stole his painting.
Oh, sweet Mercurio. Perishing in the pursuit of his art. How apt. I will miss his exceptional sense of humor.
I located the thief, but found him rather cold. He was tight-lipped about the painting, too.
Huh, he's dead. How very droll, Mr. Holmes. One presumes you were not responsible.
It was an accident at the refugee camp. He impaled himself on his own knife.
Life is nothing if not cruel and capricious. What about the stolen painting? Have you located it?
Yes, it's here.
Splendid! I'm most grateful, Mr. Holmes. It must have been a difficult task. Will you share your adventures with me?
I cannot, Mr. Vogel. The story is much like your undergallery. Not for everyone's eyes and ears.
So sometimes you do hide the truth. What has happened to your crusade?
I'm not on a crusade. I simply do not owe you the story.
It was not an attack, Mr. Holmes. If you've chosen to keep secrets, I'll respect it. Besides, the truth is often more boring than the mystery. No?
It is what it is, Mr. Vogel.
Well, now that we've resolved all of our outstanding matters, I have a gift for you. I took the liberty of having it delivered to Stonewood Manor. I am told it belonged to your mother.
Previously, you mentioned there may have been more to my mother's passing than consumption. It appears you were right.
Oh dear. I'd hoped to be wrong.
She was unstable, mentally unwell. She required sustained specialized treatment, but her madness persisted.
I knew that Violet had disappeared from the public eye, but had no idea of her suffering. I cannot imagine what you're feeling.
I'm fine. And what exactly have you sent me?
Frankly, I'm not sure how to answer that. I trust you'll know.
Thank you, Mr. Vogel. I am curious to see what you have procured.
お、女神は異邦人実験は解決した。あれでよかったのかな。ワーナー・ボーゲルは僕の家族がかつて所有していた何かを僕に送りたいという。贈り物は屋敷の正面玄関に届けられた。はい。お家どこだっけ？忘れちゃった。マーキュリオの家。あ、これ旧市街地じゃん。どこあったっけ？なんかここら辺だよね。あ、ここ。とりあえず、で、外出るか。
I think I'll leave the exhibition in its current state for a while. I'll call it the art of vandalism.
よいしょ。とりあえず着替えようぜ。この格好のままは嫌だ。水も滴るいい男。よし。んで。よいしょ。ファストトラベル。よいっちょ。
Do exercise some restraint, Mr. Holmes. Find the who's and we'll handle the why's.
あ、これ違うクエストのミッションのやつだ。なにこれ。うわ、なにこれ。
It's a bizarre object, and yet oddly familiar. Did you just remember something? Yes. A room full of curiosities and artifacts. I think I can find it in the manor.
Sherlock. So, you continue to pursue the imaginary. I had hoped you might have got all this out of your system by now.
Mycroft, what are you doing here? Get out of my house.
It's my house, actually. I've come to bring you back.
I have no interest in returning, let alone with you. I know you lied about Mother all these years, claiming she was merely ill, but she was unstable. She never had tuberculosis. She was not recuperating, but mentally deteriorating, and you never once thought to tell me. How dare you?
I shall not indulge this petulant tantrum. You can just tire yourself out and then slink back to London with your tail between your legs.
Just tell me everything. I'm an adult now. Show me the basic courtesy of an explanation. You know I will find out eventually.
The goal was stability, and that's what you got. The right thing for everyone was to try and move on from her passing.
The consequences of one's actions determines what is right or wrong.
Yes, exactly. The ends justify the means. After leaving Cordona, Sherlock, you had a normal childhood. In London, I was able to support you, guide you, shape you into a fine and productive young man. You have so much potential, so much to offer society.
But that's not the end. Now I found the truth, and it has shattered everything I knew about her, about you, and about myself. I feel unstable because of you. Your actions were not justified. Lying never is.
Oh, grow up, Sherlock. It was a white lie which has as much use in the realm of the interpersonal as the international. It is time you come to accept that some things are bigger than yourself.
Oh, you are full of it. You like to pretend you care about the big picture, but it's just an ego trip. You like knowing more than others. You like greasing palms and rubbing shoulders with the rich and powerful. You like having eyes and ears everywhere. The fact it helps the nation is incidental. Because all you care about is yourself.
It's true. I have agents everywhere, including Cordona. If you weren't so damn stubborn, you'd realize that means I'm only here for you.
老大喧嘩勃発です。ねえ。他にも思い出したことがある。僕は大きくて蒼白な色をした骨を観察していて、虫眼鏡の反射や母さんの声を覚えている。工芸品や骨董品がたくさんある部屋があった。その部屋は屋敷の1階のどこかにあり、近くには特徴的な絵があったはずだ。
Just look at this thing. It's huge.
I remember returning home with a pair of perfect sticks. We wanted to turn them into training swords.
Oh, that's right. We stood there, frozen, staring at something huge in the main hall.
It
was a giant aquarium with a living mermaid in it.
Impossible, it must have been something else. Oh, of course, that mortifying hoax presently taking up space in our front yard.
Well, fine. Your memory's better than mine. But I'm sure we started examining it immediately. And someone else was around too.
It was my mother. She asked what I thought of the artifact.
You were really concentrating and holding something in your hand.
I inspected it with a magnifying glass and was able to confirm it was made of two different skeletons. The mermaid was a fake.
And so it was time to smash the thing. Your mother took a hammer and...
Slow down, John. That's not how it happened. I remember other people joined us. The workers took the artifact and placed it into the cabinet of curiosities. It became part of Mother's collection of fakes. She always said that the truth lies in the details. This mermaid helped me to learn that.
僕がストーント邸で過ごした子供時代の記憶が閃光のように蘇り始めた。家は今は打ち捨てられているが、部屋を元通りに修復すれば記憶が戻ってくるかもしれない。骨董博物館が開館したので捜査を続けることができる。ほう。記憶大発見。贋作だったんだね。
Ah yes, my mother's studio. She was an authenticator and this was her cabinet of curiosities.
I never saw
I remember
the point.
this cozy blanket.
What does it matter if some artifact
perfect.
is real on? Wigwam! Oh, that was a joy to build them. Imagining ourselves as wayfarers on the other side of the world.
Oh, 何やこれ。あ、なんかある。キンソン&ホールマンチャプター1。
Watkinson and Holman Chapter One by Wallace Dioram.
Oh, Mycroft. He always acts so serious, but then reads tripe like this.
John, if I remember correctly, you couldn't put this book down. Another fake Holy Grail. Its owner claimed to be the heir of King Arthur. Scarcely believable. He also insisted a deadly rabbit was hunting him.
偽物なんだ。他にはなんかいっぱいあんな。
Mother said this was among the hunting trophies of a Scottish Viscount.
So he tried to persuade everyone that his forest was inhabited by these beasts. It would have been thrilling if it were actually true.
One of the most ridiculous fakes I ever saw. Its owner insisted it was a polar bear. He thought the white paint on the brown fur wasn't noticeable.
あー、茶色いのねこれ。
The full plate armor of Sir Robert Swanford. I was told my father won it in a wager.
Armor is armor, but look at his sword. Oh, how badly I wanted to wield the blade. Maybe you take it instead of your pistol.
ちょっと待ってね。少しは明るくなったかな。コントラスト上げるとちょっと変な風になりそうだけど。多少は明るいかな。破れた終了証書。骨董博物館で見つけた破れた終了証書。誰かが故意に何度も破いている。破れた証書を再構築して翻訳した。内容は次の通り。スイスのジュネーブ大学理事会を代表し、名誉総長たちはオットー・リヒター氏が法律と規律で定められた試験に合格したことを認め、医学博士の学位を医師免許とともに授与するものとする。
Clearly, it was deliberately torn.
ねえ、なんでこんなことしたんだろう
I wonder
ね。
why someone would do that. The Tulpa, Studies in Tibetan Mentalism. An impressive number of bookmarks. Someone was rather obsessed with this subject.
オットー・リヒタの個人的なメモ。ホームズ夫人は非常に興味深い患者であり、私の倫理の追求のためにはこれ以上ない被験体だ。私は精神的外傷を与えるような環境に彼女を繰り返し置き、彼女の精神病を進行させるつもりだ。その状態で治療を行うことで、彼女の精神が出来事を認めて受け入れ、効果的に治療されると私は信じている。この仮説には自信があり、あとはそれを証明するだけだ。加えてホームズ家の人間が幅広く集まっているのは都合がいい。能力や障害など精神的特徴の遺伝性についても観察することができるだろう。家族全員が非常に高い知能を持っていることはすでに明らかだ。母親の病状がこんにちは、いらっしゃい。次男のシャーロックの精神状態に影響を与え始めていることがわかる。くちこさんお疲れ。どうだったあれから超なんか笑えるデドバだったんだけど次男のシャーロックの精神状態に影響を与え始めていることがわかる。長男が保護的であることもあって適切な診察を行うことはできないが、シャーロックはジョンという空想上の友達という形で幻覚を見ているようだ。オッ トーの弟からの手紙、兄さんへ。兄さんがコルドナに最近来たと聞いてね。私には会いに来てくれないのか？我々の意見はまるで合わないが、私は兄さんとか交わす夜の会話が懐かしくてね。
笑い疲れでヘトヘトっす。笑。
そうだよね。笑いすぎて疲れることはあるよね。私、しょっちゅうだけど、最近慣れてきたわ。コルドナにできた新しい美術館は素晴らしく、私は毎週木曜にそこを訪れている。そこで会おうじゃないか。また私はクラウスの名前を捨てているから、そのつもりでいてくれ。なんだ？オットーに弟がいる。
And this one was brought from a German museum. They claimed it belonged to Vikings. Nonsense, of course. Vikings never had horns on their helmets.
バイキングの兜に角なんかないんだ。
The so-called mummy of a Persian princess. The defrauders did good work, but missed one small detail. It's the mummy of a man.
ただミイラなんてちょっと置かないでよ、気持ち悪い。割れてる。
Look, it's Roger. This jolly old man's well preserved. Even looks refreshed.
I doubt he drew much interest at the auction. Cards. Mycroft liked to keep useful people at hand.
アンジからの手紙、ホームズさん。例の個人的な件に関する、兄の助力に最大限の感謝を述べさせてほしい。兄の、漢字が読めないや。目と明瞭な頭脳がなければどうなっていたか考えると背筋が凍る思いだ。再び我々が会うことがあれば改めて感謝を述べさせてくれたまえ。マクドガル判事。よいしょ。
Officer Luciano J. Placido. Reliable and driven. I recognize Mycroft's handwriting. Carefully opened. Dated 24th of April, 1869.
裁判所への召喚状、マイクロフト・ホームズ氏。コルドナ市役所はバイオレット・ホームズの死におけるオットー・リヒター博士の裁判がマクドガル判事により行われることを、起点に伝達する。非公開審議を行うという系の要望は受理された。この召喚状は起点を重要証人としてリヒター博士の裁判に召喚するものである。規定は裏面に記された日付にコルドナ刑事裁判所に出頭しなければならない。あと何どこ？
This drawer was always closed. Only Mycroft knew how to open it.
I remember we tried to break it open and spy on him, but alas, had no success. Maybe today's the day. Oh, Sherry.
I'm starting to remember something.
ローマイ破り。なんかいっぱいあるわ。僕らは紅茶を運んだ。ジョンと僕は彼女に朝の紅茶を。違うな。 違うな。彼女に朝の紅茶を汲んだ。怪しい精神科医マイクロフトはオットー・リヒター博士の治療を気に入らず彼を信用していなかった。早朝足音。
Ah, the memory comes back. We snuck about watching him.
He closed the drawer and went to the hall. We were like two shadows crawling behind him.
開けれるの？開けれないよ。じゃあどっかに鍵があるってこと？
Oh, I remember these. We used them to spar together until Mycroft found out and forbade us from using real weapons.
本物の武器は危ないでしょう。
1852, Bingley, West Yorkshire.
ほら、かわいい。
This photo caused a lot of fuss. My mother spent some time to prove it was a fake.
偽物なんだ。鍵？鍵なんかどこにあんのよ。
It's a pity how many amazing things are missing from this room.
違う部屋にあるんだろうな。古いはしご、一番
I
上の
used this
棚。
ladder to look at the top shelf, right? On the day of Mother's breakdown upstairs.
Right you are, Sherry.
We heard a noise. I can't recall of exactly what. And we didn't have a great view from behind the statue. Books and papers from the table somehow ended up on the floor. Now it's coming to the surface. I feel it.
Ah, これか。危ないな。こうだろうな。 かい声で確定させるか。
Come on, Sherry.
Nice.
Let's go outside. Wait. Did you hear that? Come here, Sherry.
You call this progress? Charlatan, amateur. I'm not letting you anywhere near my mother again.
So there was a quarrel between them.
興味深い会話。すべてが始まったのは4月9日にバイオレットさんの部屋で起こった事件のすぐ後だった。シェリーは骨董博物館の品で遊ぶことにし、僕も彼についていった。すると僕らは偶然マイクロフトとオットー・リヒターが言い争いをしているのを聞いた。マイクロフトは怒っていた。彼はリヒター博士がバイオレットさんにしたことは逆効果だったと主張し、オットを詐欺師と呼んでいた。
I heard a noise in the hall. Let's check it out.
広間？話はすべて筒抜けだ。固定していいのかな。なんだあの白い線は。
Sherry, look! We've got a parcel here. Hurry up and let's see what's inside.
He opened the door to the postman, and they exchanged documents. If it was a real postman, of course. The painting on the wall was slightly atilt. He stopped and straightened it. Then he threw some logs into the fire and sat in his armchair to read.
It's as boring now as it was then. I'm sorry, Sherry, but I think that's it.
Wait, John, we never use the fireplace in the mornings. What if... A bit of juniper in the fireplace created a soothing atmosphere. It's the little things, isn't it?
Pleaseしてくださいでしょ。鍵みっけ。マークのあった？あ、だよね。
笑い。
あれ、ここじゃない。いやー、アピールしてもらうと怖くて。あれ、ここじゃないの。あれ、どこだったっけ？下か。いつも思う、なんかバスも見てると。あれ、どこだったっけ？こ ここじゃないな。あれ？こっちか。
We made it.
Oh.
So what's there?
Dossiers on the most influential people on Cordona. Mycroft always had a habit of building files on everyone he met.
すごいな。
Gifted by Queen Victoria herself.
ビクトリア女王直々の贈り物すごいじゃん。
Single malt whiskey. Mycroft's favorite.
女王陛下からの贈り物。中身が半分入ったシングルモルトのウイスキーでマイクロフトのお気に入りのお酒だった。骨董博物館の机の引き出しに14種類のタバと共に保管されていたのを見つけた。驚くべきことにこのウイスキーはビクトリア女王からの直々の贈り物のようだ。すごい。これは手にできんの？あ、できるじゃん。
Otto Richter.
ウッドリーター、そんだけかい。
This one is rather thick. Mycroft can be truly dogged in his research.
マイクロフトの調査。オットー・リヒターは45歳でスイスのバーンの有名な家に生まれた。未婚で後継ぎはいない。スイスのジュネーブ大学を卒業した医療従事者。実習科目で起こった実験により卒業1年延期された。1863年、両親をコレラで失い、唯一の肉親は腹違いの弟で35歳になるクラウスだ。クラウスは最後にコルドナで目撃されたが、その後の消息は不明である。へえ。腹違いなんだ。なるほど。あとはこれ？正面玄関。あ、そっか、さっき言ったの広間か。よいしょ。正面玄関。
Do exercise some restraint, Mr. Holmes. Find the whos and we'll handle the whys.
これ違うあれだもんな。あれ？あ、この像。
I imagine Goliath was surprised to find out his lady was not real.
あれ？オーゲルからの招待状。グランドサライ地区北部、コルドナ修道院の向かいのターコにあるカートマンチョスの宅邸で君待っている。すぐに来てくれたまえ。都合が悪くても来てほしい。君の友人。通信、不必要な面倒ごとに巻き込まれないよう、適切な遺書を送っておいた。ぜひ来てくれたまえ。
An invitation that comes with a mask. We can't miss this, Sherry.
コルドナ修道院。捧げられた子羊。これはじゃあもう終了じゃないか。こっちに続くのね。ボーゲルからの招待状。これを着ていけと。 然見てなかったな。グランドサライ地区北部。グランドサライ。グランドサライの北部のコルドナ修道院の向かい、ターコにあるカートマンチョイスのコルドナ修道院の向かい。コルドナ修道院ってどこ？コルドナ修道院。あ、これか。の向かい。向かいのターコにある。何ターコって。ターコっていう地名があるの？違うよね。あ、ある。道の名前がある。ターコ。ターコ。ターコにあるカートマンチョスの卓定。向かいのターコ。ここら辺に、その、マンチョスの家があるのね。なるほど。そこまで行こうかな。ファストトラベル。こっちか。
結構マップ広いのね。
そうそう、結構広い。まあ、最初からオープンワールドって公表してたから覚悟はしてたけど、それにしても思ってたよりは広い。ここら辺？違うな。カートマンチョス。どこだろう。入れないね。カートマンチョス。コルドナ修道院のあれでしょ。これのような気がするんだけどな。こっち？あった、マンチョスってなんか適切な衣装を送っといた。何の衣装これこれマジで？ れでいいのか。あー。怖っ。よっしょ。じゃあちょっと早いですけど、今回はここまでにします。やっとね、女神が終わったので。女神は異邦人。これ難しかったな、結構。では、次回はこの捧げられた子羊。これをやりたいと思います。
お疲れ様でした。
はい、お疲れ様でした。ありがとうございます。それでは、よろしければチャンネル登録、高評価、お願いします。またね。バイバイ。